Well, hey there, Maverick from Maverick and Lulu Morning on 92.1 CTQ. Welcome to our on-air studio. I know I don't look that old, but this is my 29th year on CTQ, 92.1. We're now on 103.1. We have a secondary signal now throughout Sarasota and Manatee County. And for the most part, during those years, I've done the morning show, but I've also done afternoon. Anybody that has worked in the media business, those things are kind of constantly changing. So one of the keys is being flexible in lots of areas. And I know when I was talking to Summer, we were talking about kind of scripts. And what makes radio and TV a little bit different is, for the most part, we go without a script, which is good and bad. Now, from a creative side, it's really good. On the bad side, you're kind of working without a net. Now, there's kind of two components to it. There's on air, which is kind of the show that we do, and then there's the commercial standpoint. And we do both of those in radio. Not necessarily is that the way it happens in TV all the time. So for our show, we kind of have an audience that we're asked to target kind of after, in between the ages of 25 and 54 for us, if you will, kind of leaning a little more female versus male in terms of the audience that our company is looking for us to kind of target in terms of what we do for music, what we do for content in terms of talking, contests, and all that. And so when we devise what we want to talk about as conversation on the morning show, it kind of has that as the filter. A lot of times we kind of come up with stuff that, if it's a parent, because that's kind of with the country format, it typically is kind of family oriented. So we try to stay within lanes of where families would be able to listen. So we don't try to get too racy. Sometimes maybe on a Friday morning we'll have a little more fun and might push the boundaries a little bit. But for the most part, we kind of try to stay in those lanes. And in terms of how we decide what we're going to talk about, it's kind of dinner table kind of chat, or conversation around the fire pit, if you will, or around the patio table in the backyard, hanging out by the pool or in the backyard. And that's kind of where we try to stay. But we don't have a script. We may go on kind of one theme. For example, we were talking the other day, and we'll probably talk about this in the days to come on the air. We went to an event, my co-host Lou and I, and somebody reached out to shake her hand. She instinctively grabbed the hand. This happened just a couple of days ago. We're all wearing masks. I kind of did the elbow bump. So we'll probably talk about that, because it's kind of hard to break that habit, especially if somebody initiates that. They may have happened to you. So those are kind of some of the things that we kind of walk through. And we take phone calls. We take emails. Actually, let me spin this around. So this machine right back here is kind of a screener for us. Everybody is a little bit different in our business, kind of whatever is your preference. We record all the calls that come in, and then we'll play them back minutes after. But we make sure that way nothing bad gets on the radio, and everything is kind of falls in line in terms of keeping us on track with what we want to talk about. Sometimes people may call with a random question or such, so it kind of keeps us in line on what we want to do. And so we'll edit those calls, not to take out anything they've said, but just to make sure it's tight. And it makes the call sound as good as possible. Sometimes there's noise in the background and stuff like that. So we will clean that up a little bit to get it on the radio as soon as possible. And for us, there's the other aspect of commercial. And that is kind of reading commercials for clients or events or charities. And sometimes you'll get a full script on those, but oftentimes we'll get an email and this is the signature. So right in here, that's what they want us to talk about. So it's more of a copy point or bullet points on what they want us to do. And over the years, it's kind of more evolved that way for us, to where we almost write our own copy based on the bullet points, so we can kind of put it in our own words. That way it kind of sounds a little more natural. It doesn't sound as stiff. The old-time radio voice is kind of only done in certain areas now. For the most part, we're regular people. We talk in a regular kind of tone, and that's the way we kind of produce things. So that's kind of, I think, why we've kind of evolved into not as much scripted. There are still scripts, don't get me wrong, but at least half of the time it's more of something that's kind of an itemized bullet point kind of way. Just a little bit of a snapshot on kind of what it's like behind the scenes in here. I'll just give you a look. Everything we play is on computer. When I got in, I'm pretty old, on CD is kind of when things started. Everything has kind of gone digital. And so commercials, music, all that kind of stuff is played off of a hard drive, and we kind of manage that and massage that as we go throughout our day and as our shift. And for the most part throughout the country, most radio, no matter whether it's satellite or local like us, is something that is kind of managed that way. And I will give you one commercial versus local versus satellite or national syndicated. The one thing, and it's kind of our pride for us, is being local separates us in a lot of different ways in terms of what's happening in your community, especially during this pandemic, talking to the superintendents of the schools, the food banks, what's happening in our area, how people can get help, getting informed. Do you want to give back? Do you want to volunteer? We've really, over the last 12 months, done so much of that. We're really proud of that. And then stuff like, is there a sale in town from a store you like? You know, that's what makes local radio a little bit different than some of the other avenues, because we can get on right away and pretty quick. And it's something I'm really proud to be a part of. If you've got any questions or anything, or if I need to shoot something else or give you a little more in depth, I try to give a little thumbnail sketch. Hopefully I didn't go too fast and it kind of made sense. Sorry about the hair, but I've been wearing headphones for about 5 hours today, and that's kind of what it looks like with what I've got left. But Maverick and Lulu in the morning on CTQ. We do play country, but we have fun in the morning. 92.1 and 103.1. And of course, on the free iHeartRadio app, you can download that and listen to us worldwide. And we've got a podcast on iHeartRadio, and all you have to search for is Maverick and Lulu. Got a couple of great interviews there from some local people we've been talking to, trying to help in the community. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck. And whatever you want to do in your career, just stay focused and you will accomplish it. See, I can't talk. It's late in the day. For me, I can get up at 4.